One of the hardest parts of getting older is not slowing down. It's feeling like fewer people truly need you. You may still have love to give. You may still want to help. You may still wake up with a good heart and steady hands. But life changes. The phone rings less. The house gets quieter. The people you once cared for have their own busy lives. And little by little, a question begins to follow you through the day. Where do I fit now? Not many people say that out loud, but many older adults feel it. It's not always dramatic. Sometimes it's just a quiet ache, a feeling that the days are blending together, a feeling that you are still here, but your role has become less clear. And that can hurt more than most people realize. Because the truth is, most people your age do not miss being busy for the sake of being busy. They miss being needed. They miss being the one someone counted on, the one who remembered, the one who checked in, the one who made life feel a little steadier for someone else. Maybe you used to work. Maybe you raised children. Maybe you cared for a spouse. Maybe you were the person everyone turned to when something had to get done. And now, even if nobody means to make you feel this way, it can seem like the world no longer has a clear place for what you still carry inside you. That's why this video is not about productivity. It's not about filling every hour. It's not about becoming a different person. And it's not about pretending loneliness can be solved with a hobby and a smile. This is about something gentler. A weekly rhythm that helps you feel connected, useful, remembered, and quietly important again. Not because you have to prove your worth, but because your presence still matters. If you've had days where you woke up and thought, what exactly am I getting up for today? You are not alone. If you've ever looked around a quiet house and felt like the silence was getting a little too familiar, you are not alone. If you've wanted to reach out to someone, but stopped yourself because you didn't want to bother them, you are not alone. And if part of you misses the simple feeling of being expected somewhere, being useful to someone, being part of the flow of another person's life, that does not make you needy. It makes you human. We all need to feel that our presence makes a difference. Not a huge difference, not a grand, dramatic one. Just enough to know that because we were here, something felt warmer, easier, kinder, or less lonely for someone else. And the good news is this: you do not have to go back to who you once were to feel that again. You do not need the old role. You do not need a crowded schedule. You do not need people constantly asking things from you. Sometimes all it takes is a small structure to help your week carry meaning again. So instead of asking, how do I stay busy? Try asking, how do I make my presence meaningful this week? That question changes everything. Because feeling needed does not always come from big responsibilities. Sometimes it comes from small, steady acts. A call, a kind message, a recipe shared, a story told, a grandchild listened to, a neighbor noticed, a friend remembered, a meal dropped off, a pew filled at church, a card sent, a plant watered, a promise kept. These things may look small from the outside, but they tell your heart something it has been longing to hear. I still have something to give. I still bring something into this world. I still matter here. So here is a gentle weekly routine built around that idea. Not a perfect schedule, not a strict program, just a simple rhythm to help you feel needed again. Monday, reach toward one person. Start the week by reaching out to one person on purpose. Just one. Call a friend. Text a daughter. Leave a voicemail for your sister. Send a short note to someone from church. Ask a grandchild how their week is starting. You do not have to say anything profound. You can simply say, "I was thinking about you today." That sentence matters more than you know. Why? Because it reminds someone that they still live in your heart. And it reminds you that you are still part of someone's world. Monday is not about getting a response right away. It is about refusing to disappear into the background of your own life. Tuesday, offer something small that helps. On Tuesday, do one small thing that makes life easier for another person. Not something exhausting, not something that drains you. Just something useful. Maybe you share a recipe. Maybe you mail a birthday card. Maybe you set aside a book for a neighbor. Maybe you send a little encouragement to someone going through a hard week. Maybe you fold extra napkins for the church supper. Maybe you pass along advice only experience can give. A lot of older adults still have wisdom, patience, and care to offer. They just no longer have an obvious place to put it.
Tuesday becomes that place.
Because when you help in a small but real way, you remember something important. You are not past your usefulness. Your usefulness has simply changed shape. Wednesday, care for something living. Midweek, care for something living. A plant, a pet, your garden, a bird feeder, even your own body. Why does this matter? Because care creates connection. When something depends on your attention, even in a small way, your day gains shape. Your presence has purpose. And if you are able, Wednesday can also be a day to prepare something for someone else. Maybe soup for a neighbor. Maybe cookies for a grandchild visit. Maybe a little bag of groceries for a friend who has been tired. There is something deeply healing about preparing comfort. It reminds you that you still know how to create warmth. And warmth is needed in every season of life. Thursday, be the one who notices. Thursday is a beautiful day to become the one who notices. Notice the friend who has gone quiet. Notice the man who always sits alone after service. Notice the cashier who looks worn out. Notice the widow down the street. Notice the person in your family who is holding it together for everyone else. Then respond gently. A kind word. A handwritten note. A simple, "How are you really doing?" People remember those moments. Not because they are dramatic, but because they are rare. The world has plenty of noise. It has fewer people who truly notice. And many older adults are especially gifted at this. They have lived enough life to recognize what others are carrying. That gift is not gone. It is still needed. Friday, share a piece of yourself. By Friday, many people feel the week has slipped by. That can be the perfect time to share a piece of yourself. Tell a story. Pass down a family memory. Write down a lesson you learned the hard way. Record a voice message for a grandchild. Send an old photo to someone. with a few lines about what was happening that day. You may think these things are small. They are not. They are part of how love travels from one generation to the next. Older adults sometimes believe that if they are no longer managing a household or working a job, they are no longer contributing. But memory is a contribution. Perspective is a contribution. Gentleness is a contribution. Steadiness is a contribution. Your life still contains things other people need, even if they do not always know how to ask for them. Saturday. Show up somewhere, even briefly. Saturday's not about being social in a loud, exhausting way. It is simply about showing up somewhere. Your presence can be felt. A church group, a walking group, a community center, a neighbor's porch, a local volunteer table, a grandchild's game, a friend's kitchen. Even a short visit counts. Why? Because isolation grows when every day happens behind the same walls. Sometimes the heart needs a reminder that it still belongs to the living world. And when you show up, you are not just receiving connection. You are bringing it. Never underestimate what your presence can do in a room. A calm person changes the room. A kind person changes the room. A listening person changes the room. You may not walk in thinking anyone needs you there, but often someone leaves steadier because you came. Sunday. Reflect and choose one reason for next week. Sunday is for reflection, not judgment. Sit quietly and ask yourself, where did I feel most meaningful this week? When did I feel most like myself? What small act made me feel connected instead of invisible? Then choose one thing to carry into the week ahead. Maybe another phone call. Maybe another visit. Maybe another meal shared. Maybe another note written. Maybe simply making sure one person knows they matter to you. The goal is not to create a perfect life. The goal is to protect one feeling. My life still touches other lives. That feeling is powerful because once it returns, even a little, the days begin to feel different. Not louder, not busier, just more alive. And let me say something important here. Feeling needed again does not mean you must overgive. It does not mean exhausting yourself to earn love. And it does not mean solving everyone's problems. This is not about proving your worth by doing more and more. It is about remembering that your worth did not vanish just because your old role changed. You can be needed for your presence, needed for your steadiness, needed for your kindness, needed for your listening, needed for the way you make other people feel seen. Those forms of value do not expire with age. In many ways, they deepen. So if life has felt quiet lately, if some days have felt flat, if part of you has been missing the feeling that someone, somewhere, is truly glad you are here, please hear this. You are not finished. Your role may be different now, but different does not mean smaller. There are still people who need what only you can bring, even if the need is softer now, even if it comes in smaller moments, even if it does not always announce itself. Meaning often returns quietly. One call, one visit, one note, one act of care, 1 week at a time. If this spoke to you, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. What is one small thing that still makes you feel needed these days? And if someone you love has been feeling a little forgotten, a little quieter than usual, send them this video. Sometimes the greatest comfort is simply being reminded. You still matter. You still have something to give. And your presence still makes a difference. Thank you for being here. And if you'd like more gentle encouragement like this, stay with the channel. We're building a place where growing older does not mean growing invisible.